Morning, ladies. How y'all doing?
How are you?
Doing fine, thank you.
Did you catch any fish?
No, I haven't. I haven't even got a bite.
Give up.
Oh no. There he is. Good one. Good one. Yeah, baby, come on. Oh, that's a nice fish. Come on, baby. No, it ain't either. Man, he pulled hard. I thought he was a stud for a minute. Well, see you, buddy. Hey, what's up, YouTube? I have had a bunch of questions about what I do with my rod and reels when I come back from a saltwater fishing trip. And I've already cleaned this one up, but because of the wind, there's no way I can do this outside. So I'm just going to go over everything that I do with this and how I take care of it. And I'm not saying this is the only way or the best way. This is how I do it. And I don't have corrosion problems. So what you want to do, whatever lure you use, leave it on the pole and hook it up away from the reel. Because from this point right here all the way to the end of the rod, we're going to take a hose with a nozzle and we're going to hit all this with high pressure water. And I mean really in a spray, not a stream, but high pressure. And we're going to hit it all up and down. We're going to roll it. Make sure we get all the guides. Make sure we get the lure real good, the hook real good. Get all that hosed down. And when we get done with that, and we're going to hit this butt a little bit. When we get done with that, we're going to shut it back. And we're going to cut that nozzle back to where we just have a mist. I mean a real fine mist with no pressure. Because if you hit this reel with spray, it's got pressure behind it, all the salt on the outside that builds up on the line, you know, it just when you're reeling in and salt water is just flying off this line, so the whole reel gets coated. But if you use high pressure to get in there and try to wash it off, what you're going to do is drive that salt and salt water into places like around the edge of the spool, up where your worm gear is, any little opening like where your thumb bar is. You can actually just shove salt into that reel. So what you want is a mist that where it's almost like a real fine rain. And just don't get too close to it and just hit it all over, around and around. Make sure you turn it 360 and hit all the little joints. I've heard people talk about taking a wet rag and wiping them down and everything, which will get most of it. But these little compact reels, they're so tight and they've got so many little nooks and crannies, there's no way you're going to get a wet rag in there and get it all cleaned up. That's why I prefer a light mist. Or another way to do it is to take like a gallon jug and fill it with water and then just pour it gently all over the reel. That way you wash everything off, but you're not pushing stuff into the reel itself. Whenever I get done and get it all cleaned up, when I get back into the garage, Then I take 3-in-1 oil and I put a few drops on the worm gear, because the worm gear is exposed and it's going to see more salt water than anything else. Your lures, whatever lures that you use, you don't want to put them back in your tackle box. If you put them back in the box, you're going to contaminate whatever they're sitting in. And if there's any lures in there with them, you're going to end up with salt in there and messing stuff up. So if you use a bunch of lures, take something with you that you can put them in or lay them aside, something. And then when you get back, you can wash all those lures, let them dry, and then put them back in your tackle box. Then you won't have that problem of, going to your tackle box one day, open up, and you get a big ball of rust in one of your boxes. That's about it. That's what I do. And about depending on how much fishing I do, if I'm fishing a whole bunch, once a month I'll pop the side plate and this cap off, and I'll put a few drops of super light oil on the bearings. And the handle, like this area here where it spins. Other than that, I tear them down once a year, go completely through them, clean them, grease them, and all that stuff. So anyway, I know this is going to be pretty fundamental to a lot of you, especially people that's been fishing saltwater for years and years. But I've had a bunch of questions about what to do with, what I do with it after I get back, and that's what I do. And I don't have issues with corrosion and stuff. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope you liked the video.